Alrighty, so, whew, y'all, this has been a roller coaster ride. First thing first, Grand Rising, good afternoon, and good evening. Whatever time you click on this video is the right time for you, and I thank you in advance for your viewership and support. This, Lord have mercy, y'all. This is like a update reading. The last time I did a reading on Jeannie Ma and Jeezy, I remember speaking to a few of my supporters down in the comments, and I said that this was going to be a long, drawn out journey. Now it's getting to the really ugly parts, and this is going to flip everything on its axis because, sadly enough, sometimes you don't find out who you're really dealing with until you're at the very end of the journey with that person. So without any further ado, I thank you in advance. Let me see where the time is right now. If someone could mark the time for this reading, timestamp it at 1:30, I greatly appreciate it, and I will pin it in the comments. So this is the update, the part 2 on the Jeannie Ma and Jeezy divorce. Spirit guides, angels, and ancestors of the highest heavenly order, show me the energy around this divorce and the current allegations made by Jeannie Ma. Jeannie she released footage recently showing Jeezy walking around the house with large weapons, and she accused him of being abusive. So, whew, tap me in so I could see the energy as a whole around the situation. Did Jeezy abuse Jeannie Ma? Did Jeezy abuse Jeannie Ma? Okay, so we've got the King of Cups here. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Ten of Wands. King of Cups is someone who is very, very deeply enthralled in their feelings. But this is someone who doesn't necessarily say how they feel, but they carry their emotions very deeply. And now it's like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. So he's definitely vexed about these allegations. Okay, so we've got the Page of Wands. He's looking at new actions and ways to handle things because he's still trying to move forward swiftly and professionally with this divorce. Okay, so Two of Wands represents a choice that was made. And this choice put the weight of the world on his shoulders. Yet again, the Ten of Wands. And then you've got, here it is, that Six of Wands hit the table. So what this tells me is, despite it all, there are some things that he's done that he's not particularly proud of, choices that he's made, and he's just ready to move forward and leave this relationship and this energy behind. Knight of Cups. He could already be possibly dating, which I think is not the best idea. I was right. Here it is. It's not a good idea for him to date right now because this is going to get very, very tedious. This is going to be a long, arduous journey to get to the other side of this divorce. I don't think he realized what he was getting into. It's one of those things to where you avoid certain people just to run into that very same type of person, just in a different form. Yeah, third party. Three of Cups falls under the King of Cups, and here it is, Knight of Cups. So yeah, he's entertaining different options. Doesn't necessarily look like anything serious, but he didn't pick the right time to do this. And she's going to, as far as Jeannie is going to use this against him, and she's going to fight very vigorously. The gloves are off now. And boom, here's the Tower, falls under the Two of Wands. She's going to make him rue the day they ever met. And for those who don't know what that term means, it's like saying you're going to regret it. Yeah. So here it is, the Queen of Swords falling under the Six of Wands. And I want you to understand, the Queen of Swords is someone who is very calculated, someone who is very intelligent, someone who's very well put together and packaged, but they can be spiteful. Okay? So also in the upright, King and Queen of Swords also represents a truth teller. So man, this is not looking good for him. Bottom of the deck, you've got the Page of Cups and Judgment. This is like she's going to make him regret this decision for going forward, you know, with this adjudication, this divorce, the public humiliation and embarrassment. And a woman scorned is dangerous, okay? Not because she can harm him, but because she can turn his whole life upside down indefinitely. Let's remember there's a child involved in this, and any money that he may or may not lose is not more important than, you know, what's going to come out of this for their baby girl. Okay, oh, wait a minute. So you've got heartbreak here, Three of Swords, okay? And this Three of Swords falls under the Ten of Wands. It's almost as if he never thought that she would do him this way. The Seven of Wands, it's like standing up for yourself, defending yourself. Wands are also active. So think about, you know, if there was an incident where they could have allegedly had an altercation. He may have possibly, and I'm saying this with a strong allegedly, he may have possibly allegedly been defending himself against his wife, Queen of Pentacles, okay? And then you've got this Six of Swords at the bottom. So it's like, you know, he wants to leave this toxic situation behind, possibly get full custody of his daughter, take his daughter with him. Yeah, his daughter is his heart. And she knows this. And to see that, you know, how much joy this baby brings him. I hate to say this, but she also knows that the way to his heart and the way to affect him is to keep him from her, or to limit everything in a way to where he has to bow before her in a certain respect to have a relationship with his daughter. Now, energetically, what I'm pulling out of this situation, no cards, is that Jeannie has to be very careful of this toxic energy, because the very mother that she talked about not being there for her as a young child is the mother that she is becoming. And not to say that she's not there for her daughter, but she's going to start a generational curse if she's not careful, because she's so hell-bent on making him pay that she's not looking at the bigger picture of how this was affecting her daughter. If she could look back at the younger her in her childhood and then look at her daughter as of now, it would make more sense that the way that things are being handled may not be in the best regard. And see, people have to remember that when there's children involved, no matter how you feel, the child gets caught up in the drama and they're the innocent party that hurts. Okay, so Ace of Cups falling under the Page of Wands to the Knight of Cups, which is telling me that he's ready. You know, he's really ready. Jeezy is ready to move on, date, possibly love again, and just, you know, close this chapter. It also appears that his decision to marry, he's now realizing, was a whole disaster. Yeah, he wants to get balance in his life again, because he feels stuck. He feels trapped in this situation. This is a very uncomfortable read. Okay, so you got the Page of Pentacles, and then you've got the Empress. Okay, so remember what I said when I've got the Six of Wands here, which is moving forward towards victory. You've got the Queen of Swords here, which is someone who could be very sharp and abrasive with their tongue. The way that they communicate can be very spicy, very disrespectful, very below the belt. And remember, you got the Queen of Pentacles here, and now you've got the Empress, which is the mother and the child. I knew that's why I trust my channels. Anytime I channel, I go right with it. I knew her mother was behind this energy. It feels like her mother has her hand in her back, and she's using her like a ventriloquist dummy. And listening to her mother is going to bring judgment. Your mother didn't make the best decisions raising you, Jeannie. Don't make the same mistakes or even worse. I understand you're upset, and I'm not saying you don't have the right to be, because you were blindsided. But your mother has been a thorn in your relationship, in your sight, this whole entire time. You allowed your husband to feel like an outcast in his own home due to your mother. The same mother that you cried about on network television, talking about how she was not there for you. Now, that doesn't mean that relationships can't be rekindled and, you know, people can't heal from the past. But when you get married, you leave and cleave. You love your mother, you love your father, you love your family, but you are not married to your family. You're married to your spouse. Yep. And here it is. The Eight of Swords falls under the Ten of Wands, which is having the weight of the world on your shoulder due to all this heartbreak and chaos and feeling trapped and stuck in this situation. And then here he is as the King of Pentacles, the husband. This feels like allegedly someone's going to lay it on real thick about, you know, how his contribution being taken out of the household is damaging to the family. But what family are you talking about, Jeannie? Your mother, your brother, and whomever else is not included in the family that your husband is supposed to be taking care of. He's not responsible for helping you take care of these grown-ass people. Now, I can understand, hey, this is my mother, this is my elder. You know, I want to take care of my elders. But at the same token, if you have a bitter elder, you got to be very careful and take certain things with a grain of salt. Yeah. Judgment. And his judgment falls over here with the Seven of Wands and the Queen of Coins. So, like I said, wow. And here it is. Remember, we started off the reading with, did he put his hands on her? And then here's, you know, physical confrontation right at the bottom of the deck. But there's some information that's being left out. Some very pertinent information that can change this around. And all I can say is both parties tread lightly, be respectful, because once things are done, they can't be undone. Okay? King of Pentacles, okay? Falling out under the King of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Page of Cups. So now it's like what I just discussed about his role as a provider in the household. I'm receiving the energy of someone feeling that they're not being heard. Their only worth to this household is what they can provide. They're not respected. That's messed up. So now it's like, you know, this is weird because it feels like the wires are crossed. It's almost like Jeannie considers this fighting for, you know, her marriage, for her love, for what she believes in. But somewhere you made a sharp turn and this stopped being about that a while ago. The World at the bottom of the deck, which means that this whole cycle is going to come to an end. And it may not end in the best of ways. So now you have the King of Wands that's falling down here after Temperance, after the Tower, and the Two of Wands. And literally, it's like, you know, someone trying to make someone regret the choice that they made, wanting temperance, wanting balance through a new beginning, but somebody also being back for the street. And this is causing deep sympathy and regret, a lot of hurt and pain. you can't make somebody want what they don't want. Yeah, Seven of Cups and the World. So Seven of Cups is considering your options now that you realize that this situation has come to a close. So now Jeannie has finally started to accept that this divorce is actually happening, and she's, considering all her options, exhausting every possible capability that she has in this situation. The Wounded Warrior. And this is the energy more so that Jeannie is in, because now that things didn't work out, and it's like I tried, and to no avail, it's not working. So now I'm just going to finally accept that this is over. And she's, it's like they're doing this complicated dance, juggling back and forth with how this should be handled. Neither party wanted to go through all of this, but it's like it came out of nowhere. It came swiftly. And, wow, Jeezy, it's like you pulled a sneak attack with this one when you popped up with the paperwork and said, I'm manifesting bringing this to an end. Death. So this Eight of Wands here at the bottom of the deck with the Five of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Page of Wands is literally, this is rapid. Everything is coming back to back to back. Jeannie got a temper on her, y'all. And the aggressive energy between the two of them, for the most part, it's falling under her. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to make Jeezy out to be, this messiah of men, and he was perfect and without, any issues. But I will state what I see, and what I see is Jeannie can be very abrasive, very argumentative, very in your face, the type to, put her fingers all in your face, and, more so the type that will test her luck and then have it backfire. I'm channeling that her mother is way too involved in this business of a relationship that they have. It feels like at times that when he's trying to have a discussion or even a disagreement with his wife, he feels ganged up on. It's like he's arguing with the whole family instead of just having a disagreement with his wife. And then it feels like it goes below the belt because they have sub conversations in front of him like he's not there, in a different language, knowing that he doesn't understand what they're saying. So that is very disrespectful. That is very disrespectful. Jeannie may have gotten away with this for years with her other husband because he was more milder in temperament. but she's not used to someone putting their foot down and calling her on her behavior. Especially not somebody who will call her and her whole family on their behavior. Let's see. So we've got the 8 of Coins here, which represents, her working on, 7 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. She's working on some very manipulative tactics and ways to have her way, because she's very competitive. She doesn't like to lose, but it's the way that she's going about it that is very, very chaotic, to say the least. Six of Swords and the King of Wands. So he is going to be able to separate from this situation and move away from her. And if she's not careful, the way that she's teeter-tottering with some of these things that she's saying, these allegations, it can mess her up in the long run, down the line, because she could turn around and end up appearing to be unbalanced. And unfortunately, that would be due to the energy from her mother, that she ends up, putting herself in a position to where she starts to seem manipulative, combative, and that's not the way that she wants to come across. But people can't use what you don't give them. It's like just keep it on the up and up. Do what you do what you have to do, but don't do the most. And this is going to be a hard lesson learned. I do believe that his response to her in the media was the best response that he could have given. But he's going to have to really, really, really be careful with dealing with her, especially when it's time for him to get his daughter. He may have to involve, another female family member to, if it comes down to it, to be a liaison where you could drop the baby off at my auntie's house and I'll pick her up from her, or we have to have a designated pickup place that's public, because I'm telling y'all, Jeannie's going to have to really work on her temper. That's the side of her that a lot of people don't see. She can be very explosive. And what's very intriguing about this whole situation is that the very women that he tried to avoid by dating someone that's not of his ethnicity is everything that he ran into. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the ethnicity and the nationality of the person. It's about the character. And this is going to be a very hard lesson for him to learn. That character has nothing to do with ethnic background. Also, Jeannie's going to have to learn to keep her family out of her relationship. Just because this is the way that you want to live your life with your family doesn't mean that this is the outlook that your potential spouse had for how they saw the marriage. So it's chaotic, because she knows that she's pushing a hard line. She even knows that her family can be abrasive, but the excuse is we're all like this. We come from a very line of a very expressive line of people. Like everybody's, you know, everybody's ready to pop off where we can all be aggressive, but you're in your 40s. You can't keep using that as an excuse for poor behavior. Okay, so Knight of Pentacles. So now that the situation has come to an end, it's like she's going to talk about how her income has slowed down. And how, she knew that he was betraying her. And you got the Star here with the Five of Wands. So it's very intriguing for me. Hold on, because I know they don't like the nudity on the cards. So it's very intriguing to me that she could talk about how she was fighting for hope and for this relationship, and fighting for her love and her marriage. But then you get to this Ten of Pentacles, and you have to start thinking about how much of this was you fighting for your marriage versus you fighting for the lifestyle of the whole family. So here's, it's like both sides. They're fighting to hold things together, but it's like this was a toxic, chaotic match from the very beginning. And she's obsessed with the idea of how she wanted things to go. And she's willing to go as far as to come after him for possible undocumented money. Drudging up old stuff from the past. Yeah, this is going to get extremely toxic. My warmest regards and wishes are to the baby, because sometimes people get so caught up in winning that they don't think about the bigger picture. At the end of the day, is the energy that you put this child under, because this child has to witness the anxiety and the disrespect and all the different types of feelings and views of all these people without even truly knowing what's going on or understanding that it's not your fault. It has nothing to do with you. Sometimes grown-ups don't quite get along, and unfortunately, as the child, when people begin to part ways, you get caught in the middle. And if it's really ugly, it's like the children become a spoil of war. So I'm going to end it here. And I wish both parties the best. Hopefully people can get the healing that they need. Jeannie needs to put her mom off to the side. Respectfully, Mom, I love you, but this is my life, and you can't live my life for me. And I saw this energy in the last reading that I did for them. It's like her mother is being intrusive and invasive because she wants to make up for the lost time from when she wasn't there before, allegedly. But this is not how, things work. you don't drive wedges between your children's marriage because you're just you're unable to fix the past, so you try to overcorrect in the future. Thank you to all of you who viewed this reading today. Y'all, I gotta open my windows in Sage because her mother's energy is very, very heavy and chaotic, and I want it out of my house. So without any further ado, thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. And I'll be talking to y'all soon. This reading is adjourned. Angels, ancestors, and spirit guides, please send all the energy back to the respective parties. Sever the line of the communication here. Cleanse and clean my energy. And let's get Miss Ma out my house. Oh, Jesus. Talk to y'all soon.